Hey, welcome to this History Masterclass. My name is Mr. Salagaris, and in this series we're going to look at the Industrial Revolution between 1750 and 1914. In these videos, we're going to look at the Agricultural Revolution. We're going to compare the cottage and factory production. We're going to look at how transport changed during this period. We're going to look at child labor, slavery, all that sort of stuff. We're going to look at the different industries that were around during this period of time, and also whether the Industrial Revolution made the world we live in today a better place or not. Let's start off by looking at the Agricultural Revolution in this video. So during the Industrial Revolution, the way people farmed changed quite significantly. One of the main reasons was the availability of different technologies and new techniques in farming. But before the Industrial Revolution, farms were worked in common by groups of farmers. This was how it happened for generations. They only produced enough for the needs of the farmers and not for a large profit. Farms were small pockets of land that were not run very efficiently. Those farms didn't have the capacity or the ability to produce large amounts of crop to make huge amounts of money. So this was going to change during the Industrial Revolution. How it changed? Okay, the British Parliament introduced what was known as the Enclosure Act. They sold about 4,000 of these to rich or wealthy business people. They sold them to private owners, which were called landlords, which meant those people were in charge of these once small pockets of land farmed by those common farmers or those common groups. They now belong to the landlord. Those small pockets of land were quite often combined to form large farms. That meant that those original farmers who'd been working on that land for generations were either forced to relocate or work for that landlord. Okay. Those landlords allowed the farmers or the tenants to rent the land for a cost. The tenants had to produce larger crops or livestock to pay the landlord to support their family. Many of those farmers then became unemployed and moved to the city for work in factories or mines. That private ownership of farms meant better management of crops. New techniques such as the 4-crop rotation system and selective breeding improved production rates on farms. The 4-crop rotation system allowed for fields to be worked all year round. It meant that different crops were planted each season rather than the same crop repeatedly. That meant that the soil was more productive and also provided greater yields of crops and more variety. That increase in food meant that there were more livestock available to be run on that property. It also meant that there was better human diets because they had greater quantities of food and a different variety of food. It also meant that there was more money for the landlord because he could make more profit off those higher yields. In the early to mid 1800s, other developments such as farming machinery improved the production processes and how farming worked. The draining of marshes, which is like swampland, which ordinarily wouldn't be used for farming, was drained of water and then could be used for farming. The use of fertilizers to improve the yields and the production of crops, and what we know as selective breeding, which was developed by Robert Bakewell, which meant that fatter sheep could be bred and a higher wool quality that they had. He also did a lot of work with cattle to breed them to become larger and a better quality, and this in turn helped feed the growing population during the Industrial Revolution. Okay, hey, thanks for watching. Make sure that you go back and watch this video again if there are points that you missed. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Hey, stay tuned for the next video, which is on cottage versus factory production. Hey, thanks for watching.